All right, well, we're talking about spooky things. Spooky things. That's what's going on, man. We're analyzing the lyric, and we're going to look at Michael Jackson's Thriller. Ga-dong, dong, 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 dong. Ga-dong, dong, 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 dong. Why not, right? I mean, it is the week in which the seasonal time of the year comes about with the pumpkins and everything. Might as well talk about MJ's Thriller. What is that all about? Going to analyze that lyric. Then I'll go over at the website Song Facts. We'll look at the song facts. We'll read through the song facts and then have ourselves a conversation upon the lyrics of the song Thriller. Thriller. It's a spooky week, it seems. Uh-oh. How are we Christians feeling about that? Are we scared? I'm not scared. I don't fear Halloween at all. It's just a thing people do, I guess. For us, it means, carving up some pumpkins and letting the kids dress up as superheroes and whatnot and eating a bit of candy. Yeah, that's about what's going on. So we're going to check out the lyrics to Thriller. Now, if you want to know a bit deeper, or if you want to join me, if you will, I'm inviting you. Lord willing, Friday or Thursday? Thursday, maybe? On our session, we're going to be looking at Halloween. We'll have ourselves some discussions about Halloween. Where does it come from? Why does it exist? What about Christians? Can we mess around with Halloween? We'll have fun. And so I hope you'll join me on that session. I think it's Thursday, right? Let me check my calendar here. Isn't the 31st Thursday? 31st Thursday? Wouldn't that be a cool coinky dink? Yeah, look at that. Not tomorrow. Tomorrow's our midweek study session. But Thursday, 9 a.m. Atlantic Daylight Time, Lord willing, if nothing gets in the way. I'll be going live and we'll have ourselves a conversation regarding Halloween and Christianity and what everything's involved with all that, whatever. Kind of do it once a year, right? During Halloween time. Hope you're doing well this morning. Hope you are found well in your spirit. Encouraged, perhaps. If not, well, we got to persevere through the challenging moments in our life. We got to do that. It's good to see everyone tuning in slowly as we launch our session. Carolyn with us, good to see you. Brendan, hey dude, how's it going, man? Gonna have some other friends to tune in. By all means, dear friends, please consider subscribing, liking, sharing, following. All those interactive agencies to the material helps the substance therein to find greater audience. Others out there like you and I who might find value in the things we talk about. My name is Stéphane Maillet. If you're new to the channel, yes, that's a French-Acadian name. Stéphane Maillet. And my website is addedsouls.com. Addedsouls.com. Created that over back in 2012, I believe. 2012. And I labor alongside with the East Coast Church of Christ over here on the East Coast of Canada in New Brunswick. And we want you to check out the .com, eastcoastchurchofchrist.com. If you're in the area and you'd love to come visit with us, you'd be our honored guest. It would be a privilege to have you. Truly, it would. And you can reach out through that website. You can reach out to me if you want to, addedsouls@gmail.com, or eastcoastchurchofchrist@gmail.com. The church there and the men who operate. We'd love to have you. We really would. Yeah. So that's available. So today we're going to talk about the lyrics to Thriller. I mean, who hasn't heard it, right? Unless you live on the moon or something. And some people live on the moon. I mean, I'm not... Got no issues or offense against people who live on the moon. I mean, Mr. Elon there, he's planning on moving over to Mars. So, I mean, one day we'd be like, unless you live on Mars. No, wait a minute. No, people do live on Mars now. He's planning to have people on Mars by 2030, I think, or something like that. He's building spaceships and stuff. What do you do for a living? I build spaceships that are going to go to Mars and colonize Mars. And of course, that is the endeavor of an individual who perhaps only believes in what he sees before his eyes, not thinking that there is a departure of human existence, the spirit going back to the heavenly realm, things like that, right? In other words, if there is no heaven or hell, if there is no God per se and whatnot, then this is it. This is all we see. Then, yeah, let's go to Mars and colonize, because soon enough, a evil delinquent is going to hit the big red button and, evaporate 3/4 of the population, according to the agenda that says we need to, help the weather somehow by doing that. Whatever. Well, it is what it is. But yeah, where were we now? Yeah, we're planning on having a conversation on Thriller, and many of us have heard the song Thriller. I mean, Michael Jackson's album is like one of the top 5 or top 10 grossing albums of all time. I mean, everybody's heard Michael Jackson's Thriller. Well, almost everyone. If you're still in your mother's womb, well, then again, you may have heard it there too. Mom may be cranking the Michael Jackson Thriller, and you're in the womb, and you're bouncing around to the boogie. So we're going to put the lyrics on the screen, obviously, and we'll read through that, you and I. But first, we want to read a bit of song facts. I go to songfacts.com at times. They have some valuable information there, plucked from various documentaries or interviews or trivia revealed, if you will, regarding a song or performers, entertainers, the band, the musicians. And it's interesting to me, and it's interesting to many of you out there, too. Many of the viewers who have fun looking into these things with me. And so over at songfacts.com, it says that Michael Jackson's Thriller is a rare pop song with a horror theme. No. And I remember it, man. Okay, listen to this. So I think the first time, where was it now? I don't know if I saw it on the TV. The big square wooden box on the 70s carpet there. I don't remember if that was the case, or I also remember, you may remember if you've walked on this earth for a little while, there was a competition when movies were going to be made available in your living room. There was VHS, and there was another competing with VHS, but VHS won. Do you guys remember what the other one was? Some trivia for you. I remember. I think I do. Maybe I don't. Maybe I think I do, but I don't. Do you remember what the competition to the VHS cassettes were back in the day when those two came out? Wasn't it something like Beta Video? Does that sound familiar to you? My aunt had a Beta player and a Beta Video, and the Beta Video was Michael Jackson's videos or something like that. And one of those videos was Thriller. So when I'd go over to my grandma's house, my aunt was there, I'd get to put the Thriller or the Michael Jackson videos Beta cassette in the Beta cassette player thingy and watch. And, it's a bit freaky, I'll admit. As a kid, you're watching Michael Jackson's Thriller video. It's a bit freaky. It's a bit scary, I suppose. I mean, I haven't allowed my kids to watch that video when they were too young. Now they're cool with it. I mean, they've matured enough to recognize the difference between reality and not reality, and smoke and mirrors, makeup, and video editing and video stuff. I mean, they're well versed in those things, so they know they're viewing a product that is purposed to entertain you, to jack up your emotions in one way or another, whether it be fear or joy or whatever, right? And so they get the point. It's makeup, but it is scary, in its element. If you permit it, of course, to infiltrate your thought and you get immersive with the video, it's a scary kind of thing, right? Because it's all this Halloween kind of stuff, right? That's where we categorize this scary stuff, you know. Halloween's the time where you put that. And there's the closet where it belongs. We only open that closet once a year, and it's during October of last week. And well, yeah, it was quite interesting to see that, and it was quite unique. I remember it being unique from all the other music videos I was watching or were available at that time. And so it's a rare pop song with a horror theme. Okay, let me put this article here on the screen with you. There we go. This is from songfacts.com. You can go to songfacts.com for any song. They've pretty much got every. I've not yet searched for a song they don't have. Okay, songfacts.com. This is a rare pop song, Michael Jackson's Thriller. In 4K? No way. Yeah, look at Michael. His skin pigmentation was still in a different shade there than his later years, right? This is a rare pop song with a horror theme. Halloween novelty songs like The Monster Mash. It was the Monster Mash. I remember my parents used to have a record. Remember that? Vinyl. It's coming back, you know. Vinyl's back in style. So expensive, though, now. I go to the record store at times just to flip through the vinyl. And it's like you can purchase some for like $100 for a vinyl. Get out of here. What's the matter with you? It's craziness. $40 for a vinyl. But it's back in style because it had what we've all known for a long time. That soul. You know, that thing it does there when the needle hits the vinyl. You got that authentic, genuine soul. But yeah, it's quite expensive. And Mom and Dad had this vinyl. And I remember the cover was a yellow cover. I could probably Google the thing or YouTube the thing to find it again. It's been so long. And it had all these Halloween themed songs in it. And one of them was The Monster Mash. The Monster Mash. You guys remember that song? Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Come on. Can't be the only one who knows about the Monster Mash. But yeah. Tammy, good morning. Barbara, good to see you. So yeah, Halloween novelty songs like Monster Mash had been around for a while. But this was the first hit song with year-round appeal, containing lyrics about creatures of the night who terrify their victim. You know what? I remember on that vinyl Mom and Dad had, that was all like a bunch of songs for Halloween, if you will. There was another one there. What was it? Ka-chung, 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 ka-chung. Hoo-hoo, hee-hee, ha-ha, to the funny farm. What was that about? It's like this man who goes mad. I listened to it not too long ago, too. Still found it scary. Crazy, right? I can listen to like Behemoth or Mayhem and go to bed listening to it. Soothing music to my ears, you know. Norwegian black death metal, black metal. But give me the Monster Mash. I'm scared, you know. I can't go to bed now. Michael Jackson's Thriller. Halloween novelty songs like Monster Mash had been around for a while, but this was the first hit song with year-round appeal, containing lyrics about creatures of the night who terrify their victim. Yeah, I mean, you can listen to that anytime, but it is most certainly played at Halloween parties. At the time, Michael Jackson was one of the least frightening people on earth. Yeah, I know, right? So the video had to sell it. It had to. How are we going to make Michael? I mean, Michael of all people. A scary thing. Can't make Michael a scary thing. Hee-hee. What are you going to do? You know, this pencil of a human being, you know. Hee-hee. You know, I got to give it to Mike, though, man. The dude could dance, couldn't he? Like, I would see him and I'd get teary. I'd have goosebumps. Be like, look at him. He's like John Travolta or something. He can dance. He's a dancer. But scary? No, we didn't see Mike as scary at all, you know. So we got to sell the product. We got to make him scary. So they make this video. Michael Jackson was one of the least frightening people on earth, so the video had to sell it. John Landis, who worked on the 1981 movie An American Werewolf in London. Ooh, An American Werewolf in London. You guys, I used to have a collection of horror movies. I was a horror buff. I just loved that stuff because, well, Mom did, and you know. I guess the DNA passed its way to me. Nowadays, not so much. I mean, there's nothing out there either that I that I see as worthy of a horror movie category in my mind. But there was a time where I just couldn't get enough of it. I know all the ones that everyone knows, and I know all the ones that are like the cult following kind of horror movies. I just dove deep into all of that filth and rubbish for many years, and found entertainment in watching these horror movies. And one of them was American Wolf in London. What's that song? There's a song to that, isn't there? I'm not going to be able to remember it. And I can't sing anyway, so let's keep moving on. Who worked on the 91 or the 81 movie An American Werewolf in London, was brought in to direct. Oh, well, now you're talking, because in that movie, of course, was a breakthrough moment of horror movie genre to see the man transform into a werewolf. Like, it freaked me out, man. I'm like, look, he's really turning into one. I see it. It's real. Mom, look. He's turning into a werewolf. It was this individual here, John Landis, was brought in to direct the Thriller video, and that was a good choice there. That's a good move there on the big heads there at the table, trying to make Michael Jackson scary. Landis had Jackson turn into a werewolf in the video. Yeah, freaked me out. Vincent Price, an actor known for his work on horror films, did the narration at the end of the song, including the evil laugh. Remember him? Yeah. Price's rap includes the line, "Must stand and face the hounds of hell." This was inspired by the most popular Sherlock Holmes novel to date, The Hound of Bakersville, by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, in which Sir Henry Bakersville's family is supposedly cursed by a bloodthirsty demonic hound. Price's personal friends, Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee, parentheses, who appear in several horror films with him, starred in a loose 1959 film adaptation of it. It was the first Sherlock Holmes film shot in color. Really? I didn't know that. Price recorded the central spoken section in this song on his second take, after it had been written by Rod Temperton in the taxi on the way to the studio for the recording session. Isn't that interesting? And all this trivia stuff. The music video is considered the most famous music video of all time, at least by the Library of Congress, which added it to its National Film Registry in 2009, the first music video in their registry. And that's something. Michael Jackson's Thriller. It's an iconic kind of staple to the culture. You know, it's a thing. And over here, us heathens, growing up Gentiles, we embraced all of those things. I don't know if over y'all there in the Bible Belt were permitted to see these things, but I don't know. I've learned a great many things that were quite different when I went down south for a few years. I'm talking to like people around there in the church, and like, yeah, I grew up watching MASH and Three's Company, and they're like, we were never allowed to watch those things, you heathen. What do you mean? Well, don't you know those things are like not for Christians? I'm like, I don't even understand the language you're speaking. Okay, then what about cartoons? I used to watch, the Smurfs, and they're like, you were allowed to watch the Smurfs? Now what did I do? What did I say now? Don't you know the Smurfs are the Ku Klux Klan or something along those lines? I don't know. But yeah, there was quite a culture difference there. And I found myself being the heathen, rough around the edges, unorthodox. Who are you? I was born a Gentile in a Gentile world. Forgive me, I'm still learning. I'm growing. Be patient with me. Pray for me, please. Okay, so the article continues over at songfacts.com in regards to Michael Jackson's Thriller. The video was a cultural milestone, introducing elaborate choreography, costumes, and dialogue into the format. It also introduced the concept of a long-form music video. It did, where a mini video or a mini movie was made for a song, then edited down for the short version. The long version of Thriller runs nearly 14 minutes, and that's the video my aunt had, I think, in a beta videotape format. And that's something. But had remarkable longevity, easily racking up over 100 million views when it showed up on YouTube. MTV usually ran the short version, which ran a little under 5 minutes, but still contained about a minute of non-song content in a storyline that omits most of the movie the couple is watching at the beginning. Yep. With its famous graveyard dance, the video popularized group dance scenes in pop videos, a trend Pat Benatar pushed forward early in 1983 with her Love is a Battlefield video. Oh man, Pat Benatar. She was like the staple rock girl, like look at her, man. She's bad. I like her. She's a rocker and a roller. So the Thriller video owes a debt to Alice Cooper. Well, of course, man. Good old Alice, the Cooper Stooper, who in 1975 created a movie based on the stage show for his Welcome to My Nightmare tour. Cooper's production was based on an entire album, but it also used a horror theme and was narrated by none other than Vincent Price. Cool. Well, of course, man. Alice Cooper. A British songwriter named Rod Temperton wrote this song. He was the main songwriter in his band Heatwave, which he performed with two Americans. After Heatwave's song Boogie Nights took off in 1977, Boogie Night, dum 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 dum. That sounds like disco to me. Jones asked Temperton to write songs for Jackson, resulting in Rock With You, I Wanna Rock With You, all night, and Off the Wall. Those songs, man, they're awesome for the boogies. Oh yeah, we used to dance to those things in my past life all the time. It was just fun times, which became the title track to Jackson's 1979 album. Of course. Now, when it came time for Jackson's next album, Temperton again delivered the title track, this time the song Thriller. Temperton also wrote two other songs on Thriller, The Lady Is Mine and Baby Be Mine. Those were the only songs on the album that weren't released as singles. You know what's interesting to me? Like how these performers, growing up, I thought the performer was the writer. Like, I mean, I'm ignorant to the industry at this moment, at that time, and I'm like, well, if I hear Michael Jackson singing Thriller, I'm assuming he wrote the song, he's performing the song. No, a great many artists to whom are on the forefront as the lead, the ones that you and I are like, yeah, cool, look at how cool they are. Most oftentimes, they're not the writer. They're not the talent behind the words they speak, which is interesting to me how when I started to grow in that industry, you start to see all the facets that play a part in the machine, the mechanism that brings forth a hit song or a platinum record or whatever. And Michael, as talented as he was of a singer and a performer, a dancer, I mean, the guy is a staple of pop music. I don't know about all the conspiracy that's happened with his life and the things that he's been accused of, right, wrong, or indifferent, whether they be true or not. That aside, from the perspective of the Gentile world, Jackson was the guy. There ain't going to be no more Michael Jackson. Not going to be another Michael Jackson. Not going to be another Beatles. Those things. Like Michael Jackson was the man. He was that dude. And he was the pop idol of it all. And he was bred into it. Like, I mean, he literally was weaned into that element. And he was just so talented. The man was just amazing that way. And if he's recognized for anything, that's what he's recognized for. He could sing. He could dance. He could perform. And he had that very essence within him to do so. Of course, we would have much more preferred he be a Christian and go to heaven. Obviously, as a Christian now, faithfully following the Christ, that would have been, that should be what we all seek to achieve in life. Not fame and fortune among the eyes of the world, but a humble, peaceful life following the Christ on the way to heaven. But we know the majority just don't do that. They just don't do that. But they have achieved great things, at times honorable things, on this earth. And Michael Jackson certainly did so in his department. Most homes had VCRs in 1983, and sales of videos were big business. I remember that. That was fun those days. along with the Jane Fonda workout tapes. Oh, boys. I never saw those, of course, but I know they were popular. You would see them everywhere. You could buy a VHS or Beta. Ha, there it is, man. There it is. Ah, I was hoping I had that right. Beta. That's what my grandma had, the VCR. She purchased the VCR, and we were like, wow, grandma got a VCR that would have the VHS. And my aunt, she had the Beta. The Beta copy of Michael Jackson's Thriller. There it is. Which included the full video, also the making of Michael Jackson's Thriller. I'm so happy that the article here is bringing this out, because I was like, do I really remember that? Because I kind of remember that. It's been a while. There it is. A behind-the-scenes documentary. Yes, I remember watching that. Man, how long is that? 83? 70, 4, 5, 6, 7. I was 7 years old. Right? I was born in 76, 4, 5, 6, 7. I was 7 years old when I'm experiencing these things. I also remember experiencing Indiana Jones, because I remember that was another cassette that was there. Indiana Jones. Okay, so this tape became the best-selling music video at the time and was later certified by Guinness World Records as the top-selling music video of all time, moving 9 million units. Part of its appeal was the price, of course, a mere $24.95 at a time when movies on tape cost much more. So the video distribution deal was through a company called Vestron. Yes, I remember that, which approached John Landis about selling the film directly to consumers, a move that turned out to be very profitable. Very, very profitable. These commercial ads there. Let's get rid of that. The timing helped, as the video was released a few weeks before Christmas. I mean, hello. Christmas gift, everyone. So the video won for Best Performance Video, Best Choreography, and Viewers' Choice at the first MTV Video Music Awards in '84. And the show was hosted by Dan Aykroyd, oh wow, and Bette Midler. Well, what do you know? Thriller is by far the best-selling album in the world. In the United States, it was overtaken by the Eagles. Well, yeah, man, come on, the Eagles, their greatest hits 71 to 75, but reclaimed the title after Jackson's death. Biggie once said, "You're nobody till somebody kills you." In other words, you're more famous when you die. That's kind of part of the whole sell your soul deal, I suppose. So this was the last of 7 U.S. top 10 hits from the Thriller album. And it continues to go on and on and on. It's a very lengthy article, and you can imagine why, because, well, it's a huge album, right? It's a huge deal. It's a big thing out there in the world. So let's look at the lyrics, you and I. If we can, we're going to look at the lyrics to the song Thriller. We'll analyze, we'll speculate, we'll assume, we'll speak thoughts into words, and we'll see what's happening with it. Consider subscribing, liking, sharing, drop a comment, all that kind of stuff. Engaging with the material helps others out there perhaps tap in and find some value, find some interest, right? And as always, please consider the opportunity to support. You can send some stars over here on Facebook. You can sign up to addedsouls.locals.com, and you can support us there monthly. Any amount is a good amount. Helps put food, shelter, and clothing for the Maye family as we labor alongside, of course, the East Coast Church of Christ. And there's also the PayPal option. You can send a donation, addedsouls@gmail.com. And there's my address. If you need a physical address, reach out to me. We have a conversation there, and that'll be sent your way. This is how we eat, through God's good grace and your willingness to help out. Okay? So let's put up the lyrics here up on the screen for the song, and we'll see what it has to say. Thriller by Michael Jackson as the performer, not the writer of the song, mind you. John Landis was the writer. So what does it say here? It's close to midnight, and something's evil's lurking in the dark. It's midnight, it's dark, it's eerie, it's the time of the day where things are a bit uneasy. Something evil Well, evil's not good. It's quite the opposite of good. Good we embrace, we welcome. We find security in good. We find comfort and peace in good. But with evil, there's cause to concern. For concerns. Yeah, it's uneasy. Something's wrong. It's evil, and it's lurking. It's lurking. I wonder what lurking means. You guys know what lurking means? Put it in the comment thread. I'm going to go. Let's see. Let's define lurking. Let's see what it says. Lurking. Remaining hidden so as to wait in ambush. Yeah, that's about it. He lives with a lurking fear of exposure as a fraud. Yeah, the devil does that, no doubt. Diotrephes is certainly lurking. So, it's close to midnight and something evil is lurking. It's in the shadows, right? It's behind the curtains. It whispers. It gossips. It's evil. Doesn't want to be exposed. And it's in the dark, no doubt. It's not in the light. Right? Scripturally, we know what that means. Christ is the light. He illuminates the path forward. Through him, we can go to heaven. But darkness, we remain blind. We fall. We hurt ourselves. So it's close to midnight, and something evil's lurking in the dark. Under the moonlight, you see a sight that almost stops your heart. It's a fright of sorts. What's that over there? I don't know. It's scary, I think. You try to scream. But terror takes the sound before you make it. Terror. Ugh, these commercials that keep popping up. Go away. These ads that pop up on the thing. Let's go. Let's do this. Let's define terror. Define terror. Intense, overpowering fear. One that instills intense fear. The ability to instill intense fear. Oh, I hate when it does that. Come on, get out of there. I don't want to listen to the song right now. We just want to read the lyrics. Okay, so you try to scream, but terror, this intense fear, it takes the sound before you make it. Have you ever had nightmares? I've had those nightmares. Ever had nightmares where you're screaming, but nothing's coming out? If you've gone through trauma, if you've gone through abuse by the hands of abusers, as a victim, that's how I felt. I felt like I'm screaming, but no word is coming out. No one's hearing me. It's like these people are frauds. These people are evil. These people are abusers. These people have been doing great damage. These people are here's the evidence. Here's everything. I'm screaming, but no one's hearing it. Nothing's coming out. You try to scream, but terror takes the sound before you make it. You start to freeze as horror looks you right between the eyes. You're paralyzed, 'cause this is thriller night. Yeah, you're paralyzed by it. You're frozen. Have you ever had that kind of fear, that kind of fright? You may not have walked on earth long enough then, or maybe you've been sheltered. If so, blessings to you. I know exactly what being frozen in fear means. I know what terror means. I know what all of that stuff is. I would have rather lived without that wisdom, but lo and behold, apparently, I made bad decisions in life, and because of that, I became the recipient of such wisdom. So, because it's Thriller, that's why. The reason you're in this predicament and you're frozen in fear with the uncertainty of this evil lurking to pounce on you, it's because it's Thriller night. Oh, that's why. I was wondering why. It's because it's Thriller. No need to fear. There's the answer. I mean, why? What's happening here? Why is this happening? Well, it's because it's Thriller. It's Thriller night. Oh, all right. I was wondering what was going on. And no one's going to save you from the beast about to strike. It's done. You're cooked. There's no way out of it. It's going to happen. Well, of course, you and I know there's a way out. It's Jesus, of course. Jesus is the way out of darkness and fear and evil lurking and all those things. He'll withdraw us into a location of spiritual refuge. We don't need to fall prey to the evil lurkers. But in the world and its fallen ways, there is no hope. There's no hope there. They're outside of Christ. So of course it's thriller. It's thriller night for them every night. And no one's going to save anyone outside of Christ. The beast about to strike. You know it's thriller night. So there's a beast, there's a creature of sorts. And of course, that is the whole idea of the werewolf. And if we go way, way back, I mean, we're talking about way, way back. It all stemmed within the genre of these monsters, right? Frankenstein, Nosferatu, and the werewolf, the vampires, lions and tigers and bears, oh my. Because this is thriller. That's why this is happening. This is what's going on. So then he continues and he says, you hear the door slam and realize there's nowhere left to run. You're trapped. You're pinned in the corner. You're going to get it. The beast is going to eat you up. Uh-oh. You hear the door slam and realize there's nowhere left to run. You could turn this completely to the spiritual realm of an individual who is outside of Christ, living a worldly life, living in sin. And he's just cornered. He's about to be devoured by the wolf like it's done. His path is eternal destruction. I know what that's about. I've lived there for decades. See how that works? There can always be a spiritual element to a secular or worldly illustration of sorts. So you hear the door slam and realize there's nowhere left to run. You're done. It's over. You feel the cold hand and wonder if you'll ever see the sun. You have this deep, profound fear. It freezes you. You're in shock. And the anxiety is having your heart race. You're getting lightheaded. You're clammy. You're cold. You're sweating. Your hands are getting all fuzzy and fizzy, falling asleep. Impending doom. You're done. You feel the cold hand and wonder if you'll ever see the sun. The sun produces the light, the warmth and blessing of the Christ, the darkness, the shadows, the lurking creatures who are evil, pouncing on you, the two different paths in life. Narrow is the gate, broad is the gate. Out there is darkness, and the creature is seeking to devour you. Huh? Isn't that something? You close your eyes and hope that this is just imagination. As a child, of course, I thought there were monsters under the bed. And a few times I would see them come out like shadows in the room. And you know what we would do? We would hide underneath the blankets and shut our eyes and pray, no, please, please, please. That don't work, though. I don't want to hear about it. You shut your eyes. You remain blind. Is that going to solve the problem? That there's a creature about to devour you? Well, no. I've sat down with people who don't want to hear the gospel. I don't want to hear about that stuff. That's scary. The hell and the devil and stuff. I don't want to hear about that. That's just scary stuff. Yeah, wait until you meet him. You think it's scary now? Oh, boys. You've got a heavy day coming up for you. A very heavy day coming up for you. So you hear the door slam, you feel the cold hand, you close your eyes and hope that this is just your imagination. It isn't. It's really happening. Girl, but all the while you hear a creature creeping up behind you're out of time. It's done. You can tell yourself it's not true, it's not real. It's just a figment of my imagination. There is no such thing as good and evil, up or down, God or the devil, heaven or hell. Those things don't exist. But they do. Because, and here's the reason, this is thriller. It's thriller night. It's filled with thrills. There ain't no second chance against the thing with the 40 eyes. Girl, thriller. Ooh, thriller night. You're fighting for your life inside a killer thriller tonight. You've been close to this individual whom you thought was your boyfriend or girlfriend, who you thought was your friend, who you thought was, a trustable individual. But he or she is soon to reveal themselves in the lurking shadows as a wolf to devour you. Oh, some of us know this kind of stuff very intimately and very personally. Night creatures call, and the dead start to walk in their masquerade. There's no escaping the jaws of the alien this time. They're open wide. This is the end of your life. Ooh, ooh, ooh. They're out to get you. There's demons closing in on every side. These zombie creatures in the video, right? They will possess you unless you change that number on your dial. Now is the time for you and I to cuddle close together. Yeah, all through the night, I'll save you from the terror of the screen. I'll make you see. It's time to consider the way out here. You may have thought there was absolutely no way out and you were going to be devoured by this evil source, but there is a way out. You can be meant to understand that what you are seeing in the screen is just entertainment. It's just, you don't need to fear those things. It's just makeup. It's makeup, smoke and mirrors, cameras, illusion of sorts, you know. It's the trait of personality found out there that is just creating this content before the screen we view, and it's called Thriller, and it's Michael Jackson. He's going to turn into a werewolf, and there you go. You see some zombie-like creatures that are after him. It's entertainment. But is there a true and genuine element of spiritual essence regarding good and evil? Well, absolutely. Absolutely. And there is, through the illustration of its sort, a practical application to our lives. Just because Michael Jackson, you know, he looks like this decent young man who's kind, and he's bringing you out on a date and going to go eat some popcorns and stuff. You know, he's kind to you. He's becoming your friend. He's approachable, very charming. Inside, he's a wolf. He's going to devour you. Huh? That's a true thing. We go through those things. Huh? What about Jesus with his entourage, his disciples, his apostles? One of them outwardly produced himself as a follower, loving Jesus, trusted, approachable. Come to find out, he's a jealous and greedy man. He's a wolf. He's willing to give up his best friend's life at the hands of the enemy for a few silver dollars, a few silver coins. How are we doing that? How are we doing there? Huh? And that's something. What about us in our lives? Absolutely. Absolutely. We've been charmed by individuals who infiltrate themselves in our lives, pretending to be our friends. Then they expose themselves for who they truly are, but only behind the shadows, in the shadows behind the curtains. Oh, but there's a day soon coming where they will be exposed. Here's Michael Jackson speaking all these things. This is Thriller Night. Because I can thrill you more and more than any ghoul could ever dare try. Thriller Night. So let me hold you tight and share a killer, thriller, chiller thriller here tonight. And he continues to go. And then you have Vincent Price's words that come in here. Darkness falls across the land. The midnight hour is close at hand. Creatures crawl in search of blood to terrorize y'all's neighborhood. I'm going to thrill you tonight, and whomsoever shall be found without the soul for getting down must stand and face the hounds of hell and rot inside a corpse shell. I got to give it to them. I mean, to John Landis's pen here. It's a very poetic, very plain, poetic, yet still frightening adaptation to what he was creating, right, and what became the video. Yeah, I find it quite amusing, no doubt. It's written quite well, but and then it continues, of course, thriller, so on and so forth. And then Vincent comes back, and the foulest stench is in the air, the funk of 40,000 years. and grisly ghouls from every tomb are closing in to steal your doom. And though you fight to stay alive, your body starts to shiver, for no mere mortal can resist the evil of the Triller. Oh, boys, I tell you. Some of you are going to be like, is this dude for real? Yeah, here I am in the flesh. I'm amused by it. I'm having fun with it, of course. I mean, I don't fear these things. For me and my family, it's not a it's not a disruption of life. But we understand it fully, though. We know what's going on with it. But it's entertainment, and they utilize they utilize their talent and their opportunities to create these memorable things. It's innocent fun for those in conscience who know it to be innocent fun. But for others, it's a very true and scary thing. And to those individuals who can't handle that kind of stuff, just stay away from it. Stay away from it. That's all there is to it. But there is indeed a valuable and practical application. If you no longer want to live in fear of the evil that is lurking in the shadows, if you no longer want to live in fright and terror, and find yourself frozen in despair, trying to convince yourself that evil is not real and that you're not in danger, if you no longer want to live like that, in heightened anxiety and stuff like that, you got to learn how to let that go, change your mind, and follow Jesus. Jesus conquered all the evil. He conquered death. So if we faithfully follow Jesus, what do we have to fear, truly? All they can do out there is give us the pinch of death. And then we depart, and we are with our Lord and Master forevermore. Once you follow Christ and you understand his power and his love, his compassion, his willingness to forgive us, his law, his rule, his justice, no doubt. Can't have law without grace, grace without law, love and law combined, always. Once we follow with Christ and you fully invest your trust in him, you don't need to fear no ghouls and ghosts or zombies or, werewolves or Frankenstein or vampires. And that is indeed the power of the Christ in our lives. It's just cameras, makeup. That's all. Do some people truly believe in those things? Well, of course some people truly believe in those things. You can look at the ocean of denominationalism out there. You can look at Christianity created in the image of men. Look at what they believe. Sometimes I think what they believe is more scary than what Michael Jackson produced on a video. Really? Oh, I have an argument for it, I assure you. At least with what we see with Michael Jackson, we can recognize it. Okay, it's the world that's doing its thing. It's producing this kind of entertainment, trying to scare us. But the other one, masquerading as Christianity, oh man, going to tell you all kinds of stuff. Going to produce itself as an angel of light. That's what some of my brethren, they just miss the mark on that completely. They think evil looks like evil. And it does. Don't get me wrong. At times, it certainly does. You can look at something and be like, that's evil. It even looks evil. No doubt. But more so, the true and pure evil is cunning. And so it would produce itself to look outwardly as something pure. As something pure. Look at the religious leaders of the day while Christ walked on this earth. Look at them. With their garments and their phylacteries and the way they presented themselves as holy men. They knew the Bible. They knew the scriptures. They were scholarly individuals. They presented themselves outwardly. They said the right things the right way. But inwardly, they were ravenous wolves seeking to devour you. You think that's changed somehow? When I look at the world of how should I say, when I look at the world and what they are producing when it comes to like scary stuff, let's say scary stuff, right? Frankenstein movies or whatever. It's entertainment, not scaring me. Nothing to fear with that. What's scary to me is individuals who consider themselves member of the Lord's church, gospel preachers, mission workers, who are Pharisees, who are Diotrephic spirits, who present themselves in a certain way outwardly, but inwardly they are evil men, frauds, who are going to be exposed. That's scary. The scary movie or music video, that don't break up families and marriages and churches and friendships. That don't do that. You either watch it and you can handle it, no fear of it, or you stay away from it, no damage from it. What's fearful are wolves in sheep's clothing who infiltrate through the window and creep into your life and destroy everything around it. Everything around it. They leave a trail and resume of destruction and chaos and devastation, sorrow and division. That's scary. So be sure to know where you are at in discernment. We have brethren more concerned about corrupt politicians than they are the wolves that have since crept into their local assemblies, causing all the havoc. Corrupt politicians going to do what corrupt politicians going to do. Entertainers, celebrities, movie actors, they're going to act what they do. They're going to do what they do. That's what they do. When it's when you get the phonies, the Pharisees, who creep in. Now that's a thriller night. That's frightening. Those are the ghouls and the ghosts and the demons and the evil that lurks in the whispers and the gossips. I've lived long enough to experience those things. When I first came to faith in Christ, I thought you couldn't even watch Harry Potter. I thought Harry Potter is the occult, it's Satanism, it's sorcery, and it's going to brainwash Christians, and we shouldn't watch that. Firmly convinced. Yeah, I've since found out that Harry Potter ain't nothing to fear. Harry Potter ain't nothing to fear. What's to fear is your brother, a believer, whom you think is your friend, who turns out to be a fraud, an evil, self-righteous hypocrite, a cunning liar and slanderer, a wolf in sheep's clothing. That's what's scary. That's what's evil. And if you haven't lived that yet, I don't wish it on you, because it's a hard lesson to learn in life. So for those who at times come hard on me because of the things I may watch or speak about or music or entertainment and things like that, know that I've lived through what is truly evil. So I don't fear Harry Potter anymore. I don't fear my kids dressing up as superheroes and getting candy. I don't fear those things. You understand that? All right. Well, that'll be the end of this session. And hopefully it was worthy of your kind attention. I appreciate all your comments and viewership. Let me see here. Tammy with us. Anik with us. Tammy says, that's the only part of the song that I love. Love fish. Oh, yeah, Vincent Price. Yeah. He has a unique voice, doesn't he? Skeleton Thomas with us. Thank you for saying this. I am grateful for you and your work. Thank you, brother. In the name of Jesus, amen. Well, thank you so much for that encouraging comment. I appreciate that. I really do. Truly, I do. Tammy says amen. All right. Well, guys, please, again, consider giving a thumbs up, an emoji of sorts, drop a comment as you've been doing, share the link on your social media platforms, and that helps, of course, the material reach others out there who might find value in it. And if I may extend it your way, if you may consider the thought to support. That's how we function as the MyA family here, through His grace and your willingness to support our work, what we do. And I labor alongside the East Coast Church of Christ over here in New Brunswick, Canada. And you can check out the .com, eastcoastchurchofchrist.com. That good? Lord willing, tomorrow we'll have ourselves a midweek study. And Thursday, which is, I believe, the 31st, we will have a conversation on Halloween. Where does it come from? What's it all about? And what's the part that we play as Christians with it? Okay? I think it's very important, and I would love to have you join me. And if there's others who you think might benefit from that, tell them about it. 9 a.m. Atlantic Daylight Time. Thursday, we'll talk about Hallows Eve. Dun, dun, dun. Okay? Stay focused, stay positive. You are appreciated. You are loved. We'll talk again tomorrow. Peace out.